Good evening, everyone. Time now is 5:30. If you would all stand, we call our Leesburg City Commission meeting to order. Invocation will be led by the Honorable Mike Peterson.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for your many blessings. Continue to bless this city and this community. Give this commission wisdom to work together and continue to improve, make our community better. In your name we pray, amen.
Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner, for the prayer. We have no proclamations, no presentations, and fourth, our consent agenda. Routine items are placed on the consent agenda to expedite the meeting. If the commissioner staff wish to discuss any items, procedures as follows. Pull the items from the consent agenda, vote on remaining items with one roll call vote, discuss each item, and vote by roll call. Are there any items from the commission to pull tonight?
None for me.
Nothing for me.
4B3.
4B3. We entertain a motion to approve the remaining items.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Hurley,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennison,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. Item 4B3.
Move for approval.
Purchase request by the Electric Utility Department for the purchase of a new base station dispatch radio system from Motorola Solutions for a total cost of $59,800.
We have a motion on the floor. Do you have a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion.
I pulled it. How did we miss this in the original? How did the original radios work and then these all of a sudden don't?
Glenn will tackle that.
Yeah, I understand why- how they don't work,
Are you
but-
comparing that to fire, police, radio?
Well, these are the ones we just bought, the new ones for the county, correct?
Correct.
And then they don't work because of the interference issue.
Well, okay. We bought radios for the trucks, all the trucks,
Okay.
and we also bought what is a very base configuration, trying to stay within the budget for inside the distribution operations center. And what we're finding is that those radios are as configured. There's interference from some of the computers that are in the room, as well as one radio microphone transceiver to another. So only one of the dispatchers can operate the radio at a time. So what we're talking about is upgrading that, not throwing anything away.
Okay.
Everything stays. It's a reconfiguration with the enhancements to make it functional again.
So this is not. So if we had bought the
Sorry.
better system the first time, we would have just paid $60,000 more then.
Correct.
And so you tried to save money, it just
That's
didn't work
correct.
out.
Tried to stay
Okay.
with-
All right, I understand. Thank
And
you.
I apologize. Glenn Spurlock, Electric Director.
Thank you, sir. Any other discussion from the commission, from the public? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Hurley,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennison,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. Item 5 is our routine hearing and non-routine items. Item 5A is appointment to advisory boards. First one is the Planning Commission.
If I can just
Yes,
lead
sir.
you through this, we've got a bunch of different positions we need to fill on the Planning and Zoning Commission. And in the packet, I tried to make it real simple. So you've got 6 member appointments that you need to make, and if you can kind of go one by one, I think that'll probably help Andy keep track of everything. So there's 1 member appointment that you need to make for Don Lukich's term, which expires the end of this year. He had to resign for the resign to run reasons. You need 2 member appointments to serve until September 30, 2020, 2 member appointments to serve till September 30, 2021, and then you need 1 alternate to serve until 2021. Then that'll round out the Planning and Zoning Board. There was a list of a bunch of resumes. All the existing members requested reappointment, and then there's a list of about 6, 7 new potential appointments.
Okay, so recommending to do one at a time. Is it okay, one at a time? Is it okay with that? I know a lot of the members are here, that are actually here. And the first one is one-member appointment for a term which expires September 30, 2019. That's the one's held by Mr. Don Luckage. I think Mr. Luckage is here. And you are interested in remaining in that spot, or being appointed to that spot? Are you interested in being reappointed to that spot on the commission? Are you interested in?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll make sure it may eliminate some discussion if you just want to quit, but okay. So it's the pleasure of the commission. I know we have a lot of new applications that are here. How does the commission want to do? You want to nominate, or how you want to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I reached out to a lot of the guys that are on this list for the new applicants, trying to get more guys involved and rotate out. I think if we were going to do somebody who's already currently served on there and has expired, that we should do that for the one-year term that's expires this year. And then for some of the members that are wanting to come on, let them have the 2-year term so that they got a little time while they're there. Besides, it takes just a little while just to get in the swing of things. Ain't that right, Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
And the other commissioners got?
So we have 6 new applicants for 6 potential spots. That's what I'm reading. Well,
7 new applicants for 6 new spots and 5 existing applicants to keep their spots.
my preference has always been to give new people an opportunity to get involved if they want to get involved. So we've got some people who have done a very good job for the city, but just like I believe in term limits on the commission, I think it's good for boards as well. We've got a lot of really qualified people, so. To Commissioner Hurley's point, if we appointed someone to a 1-year term, then I would want to reappoint them when it came back up. But,
That's true.
but we've got so many applicants that we can't fill them all with 2-year terms if we go that route.
Sure, I agree.
Mr. Peterson, any pleasure?
I'm just listening right now.
Okay. Commissioner Dennis?
I agree that a lot of the new applicants deserve a try at this. The only thing is you don't want to replace everybody with untested applicants, because there is a learning period and we don't want this to be empty for 6 months or whatever while they're learning. So I would like to see a mixture of existing and new applicants.
And my only concern is having diversity on the planning and zoning board. I think they've been doing a good job as far as we got a lot of new stuff that's coming on, and I was a little leery because before we had no one applying for the board, and I look and we got a lot of applications came in actually 1 or 2 days behind each other. That I think on Mr. Bo Franklin, he didn't even select any board, so I don't know how we arbitrarily said he's going to plan his own, because he didn't check anyone.
It was in an email.
Is it an email? Okay. Because I'm looking on the checklist and there's no check.
No, he emailed his application to the city, and it was specifically for the planning and zoning board.
Okay. I guess that was my concern. Is was this a recruitment effort, or how did this all of a sudden we get applications around the same date? So that was just my concern, and kind of this board can sometimes be contentious and do things. 4 or 5 people said, let's get it and let's take Leesburg this direction. So I still believe in diversity, and I'm kind of with Commissioner Dennison to kind of redo a whole new board. I think just kind of say, let's get a whole new commission, and I think that may cause some problems as well. So with all that being said, everybody's had a comments. Anything yet, Mr. Peterson? Are you still listening? This kind of trick on here.
No. After hearing all the commission speak, I do agree. Probably good to have a little mix. I'd probably like to keep at least 3 or 4 of the existing.
Okay. So would y'all like to hear from any of the applicants?
I just would point out we are keeping 2 of the existing no matter what, because they are not up for. So I agree about, and I don't know what the right mix is. That is a good point though about having some. So we're starting off with 2, and then it's a question of how many of 7 is the right amount.
Okay. Would you like to hear from the applicants, anyone, or you just good?
Absolutely.
Okay. Those who are wishing to join the planning and zoning or existing members, will take you one at a time. The commission will hear from you. You can just give us probably 2 minutes of who you are and why you really want to be on the planning and zoning. Okay, we'll call you by order. All right. We'll go to the new applicants first. Mr. Craig Brown, is he here?
No.
Mr. Bo Franklin?
No.
Mr. Terry Miller?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Just give us your name, address, and kind of quick spiel of why you're really interested in being on the Planning and Zoning Board.
My name's Terry Miller from Leesburg, 415 Gorman Drive. I've been resident of Leesburg all my life. Was born here, raised my whole family here. My parents were from here, and so we got a lot of roots in Leesburg. I've watched it grow. I think I can help Leesburg catch up with where we got behind a little bit and be prosperous like these other cities around us. And I'm willing to do what I got to do to help.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody got any questions?
You own a business,
Say it again.
and you own, tell us what you do.
Oh, I'm a business owner. I run a commercial pool cleaning business and have for 25 years. And we work exclusively for the villages. We clean their commercial swimming pools, and we've had that contract for 20 years now. And did pretty well at it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. John O'Kelly. Mr. Carlton E. Richard. Mr. Greg Sharp. Mr. Christopher B. Wood. Okay, so now the existing members. Mr. Ted Bowersox.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, Ted Bowersox, City of Leesburg. My lovely wife Sharon is with me today. I've been on the City Commission, I've been on the Board of Adjustments, I've been on the Planning and Zoning. So this is my second time on the Planning and Zoning. Given a lot of my time to the City of Leesburg. I enjoy doing it. I am retired. I think we have a wonderful Planning and Zoning Commission. We all are very cohesive. We work well together. I'm not suggesting not bringing new people in. I'm open to that. I'm just proud to be able to participate. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Wood, I know you just walked in. We got your application. We're asking new applicants to come and just give us a name, what they do, and why they want to serve.
Thank you. Appreciate your time this evening. Chris Wood, I work for the hospital for Leesburg Regional. I am one of the administrators there. I've actually been in Leesburg for about 15 years now with my wife. We've raised our family here. I'm definitely interested in seeing sustainable economic development and growth moving forward. I'm a former realtor. I've actually had my real estate license with the RA Grizzard for about 5 years. Saw, the potential for Leesburg in that fashion, and I'd be happy to serve and get involved on the committee.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Galil Coleman.
Clell Coleman, 323 Lakeshore Drive. And I'm here with my wife, Alice. And I want to serve because I love Leesburg as much as anybody here. Also, I've lived here since 1954. And I've seen the area grow, and I want to continue to serve in my capacity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Stuart Kaplan.
Name's Stuart Kaplan. I live in Arlington Ridge. I've been here in Leesburg now for a little more than 12 years, and I've seen improvement over the time, over the 12 years that I've been here. I'd like to help continue the improvement, amenities, the things that we have here in Leesburg. I'm was a registered architect. I am no longer licensed. And I've helped implement some things in the current Leesburg planning code I need something to do with my time, like many retired people. And I feel that this is one way of giving back what I feel Leesburg's given to me, because I'm very, very happy here, and I'd like to continue doing what I've been doing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Don Luggage.
Don Luckich. I have to echo what Mr. Bowersock said. We have a good working commission at this point. You know, I can't even remember how many years I've been doing it, but it works very smooth. We have good discussions. I've also been on the Charter Review Board for the city. It's just, you know, it's time to give back a little bit. I've been in the city now for 19 years, and I've been giving back. As many of you know, I see you almost every other Monday night. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Frazier Marshall.
Frazier Marshall, 1510 Woodland Drive. Been in Leesburg over 25 years. I just love being on the planning and zoning board, and just helping to see what the commission has done thus far. Like Mr. Bowersox and Mr. Luckage has said, very cohesive board, and I have seen the board really push some things through to help the city grow and get it within the guidelines that the commission has been asking for in most areas. And I just love being on the planning and zoning board, and hope I can continue to be on there to continue to serve with the rest of the members who I've been serving with thus far.
Thank you, sir. Okay. I don't know if that made it easier.
So we still going you want to go per term?
Yes, sir. We can do it that way.
I'll make a motion to appoint Terry Miller to the term expiring September 30th, 2019.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? You want to vote on one at a time, or you just want to wait till we get to the end unless we have?
We're probably going to have to vote one at a time. I hope not.
All right. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hurley?
Yes.
Commissioner Dennison?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck?
Yes.
Mayor Christian?
Yes. 2-member appointments for a term expiring September 30th, 2020. That's currently held by Mr. Coleman and Mr. Kaplan.
Well, I move to appoint Quell Coleman and Chris Wood.
Second.
Motion and second for Mr. Coleman and Mr. Wood. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner, Dennison?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck?
Yes.
Commissioner Hurley?
Yes.
Mayor Christian?
Yes. Next, I have a 2-member appointments for a term to expire September 30th, 2021, currently held by Mr. Ted Bowersox and Mr. Frazier Marshall.
Make a motion to appoint.
Can we get clarification on that?
Yes, sir.
Because on the bottom here, it says that Mr. Argentiano and Townsend are still...
Their terms expire the
This year.
19th, September 30th, 19. So I guess they'll be coming back.
And I should say that I just remembered Mr. Argento reached out. He's applied for a position on a county, I think, Board of Adjustments.
Okay.
And it seemed to indicate that if he got that, maybe he wouldn't be doing this. But at the very least, this would be his last term.
Okay.
Maybe based on that.
So Freddie couldn't
appointment.
serve
So-
both of them?
No, that would be dual office holding.
Right. So I think he hasn't been approved yet, but we might have another vacancy very soon. Is what I'm
What I'm
saying.
saying is, you just said we're filling... Are we filling Ted's term right now?
Ted
or-
Bowersox and Frazier Marshall.
Even though they're not expired yet?
No, they are.
They expired September 30th,
They
2000.
expired a long time ago.
Yeah.
Also, so everybody's
It says
expired.
2019. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read, but I can't.
Argento and
Well,
Mr.
Townsend.
Townsend.
But we're going to have two
Those
more.
two are not here.
Right.
They're
Those
not
are
until
is fine.
September, yes.
Okay.
They're-
but I see what you're saying.
So Ted's is on, his already expired. I mean, Mr. Bowersox has already expired.
So the 2-member appointments for a term that expires September 30, 2021 currently was held by Mr. Bowersox and Mr. Marshall.
Make a motion to appoint Ted Bowersox and Fraser Marshall.
I'll second that.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck?
Yes.
Commissioner Hurley?
Yes.
Commissioner Dennison?
Yes.
Mayor Christian?
Yes. 1 alternate member appointment for a term to expire September 30, 2021. Currently, the alternate position is unfilled. So we need an alternate.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Luckage for that.
Do we have a second? Okay, we don't have a second. Another motion, please.
I would like to nominate Craig Brown for that.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Roebuck?
Yes.
Commissioner Hurley?
Yes.
Commissioner Dennison?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Mayor Christian?
Yes.
Is that all of
So
them?
now we got to, yes,
That's it.
we got to insert for a motion for it.
Yes, you have to pass the resolution now.
Okay. And you got everybody's name there?
I believe so.
Okay. So someone like to introduce the resolution?
I'll introduce the resolution to approve the nominees.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, appointing 5 regular members and 1 alternate member to the Planning Commission and providing an effective date.
Have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Second.
In discussion? From the public? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hurley?
Yes.
Commissioner Dennison?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck?
Yes.
Mayor Christian?
Yes.
Would you say who they are?
Yes, and if you read them, please.
Okay. Terry Miller to a term expire September 30th, 2019. Coleman and Wood to expire September 30th, 2020. Bowersox and Marshall to expire September 30th, 2021. And the alternate Brown to expire September 30th, 2021.
Okay. Now we go to the Historic Preservation Board.
Can we make a remark?
Yes, sir. Yes,
on the
sir.
board, to the board? Because we do have a couple new ones that are coming on, and very rarely is the Planning and Zoning Board and the Commission in the room at the same time. But I think for me, and if you ever look at the minutes or go back to previous meetings when we've had issues with land development, things of that. The one thing that I find a little frustrating on my part is when we're not on the same page and there's no cohesiveness between us. That being the Planning and Zoning Board and the City Commission. And when I say frustration, what I mean by that is, you know, if we're working on something and then it finally comes to Planning and Zoning Board, if you guys vote no, it still has to come to us, and then we vote yes, and then we look like a bunch of idiots to the public. Whether it's y'all or us, one of the two doesn't look smart. And so, you know, for the board, you know, my preference would be, you know, if we haven't had talks, you know, please pick up the phone and call a commissioner. I think Mr. Bowersock's probably the only one that's actually been a city commissioner and a mayor. But, you know, I just would like to see us work a little more harmoniously together between both boards and make sure that we are kind of all going down the same path instead of 2 paths and it ends up here. Just my thoughts on that.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome to talk back.
Can I make a comment on that?
Absolutely.
I asked first.
Well, we're gonna do it real quick, Mr. Bowersox, Mr. Coleman. You come and just make a real brief remark. After these two, we're gonna move on to historic preservation.
A lot of times it's information, but we're also not a rubber stamp, and I don't think you would expect us to be a rubber stamp. But there are a lot of times where our director doesn't have the information that we need, and I don't think it's his fault. Dan does a wonderful job. So I think there needs to be some commission, city manager communication between our director and have the information that we need. Fred is very helpful because he sits on both boards. Fred's a very good conduit for that.
Well, and yes, I want to be clear. I don't want that to seem like that's what I was saying. But you can answer this. Do I not call you and say, hey, Mr.
Sure.
Bowersox, where is
Sure.
this at? Me and you have phone calls.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to understand. And all I'm saying is for the board, and especially for the new guys, sometimes I think it's just good if you have a good open line of communication with the commission so that
Exactly.
we're all,
I say the same thing about
we're all rolling
y'all.
down the same river. You know?
I say sometimes the same things about y'all.
Oh, no, we're up here.
The Silver Lake issue's still in my craw. But
Well, the perfect example. See?
All right, Ms.
thank you
Coleman.
for your support. I appreciate it very much.
If I'd have known you was mad, I wouldn't have voted.
A lot of times,
Mr.
there
Clerk
are
Coleman.
certain things that are still not 100% worked out. We may or may not, have all the information that's presented to you. It can change between our vote and yours, and we not know exactly what changed. And that's not really the fault of staff. It's the trying to make the best for the community and present to you as accurate as it can. The only way I would know that that could be changed is if you voted to send it back. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Next order of business, our Historic Preservation Board analysis, and we talk about we have 7 regular members plus 2 alternates, and we have a current of 5 individuals. Ms. Paige Chassie, Ms. Sandra Henderson, Joyce Hughes, J. Skelly Morris, and Guy Ross. So Al, we need all 5 of these?
Yeah, actually, we kind of combed the code and while we were preparing for these, and the code doesn't actually say how many members are on the Historic Preservation Board. So Fred recommended we keep the 7. So if you appoint these, I would suggest maybe throw John O'Kelly back in that group because he's been there before and he had some interest in the Planning and Zoning Board. I'm sure if since he didn't get that appointment, if you asked him to serve on the Historic Board, he would probably do that. So that would round it off at 6. I don't know if any of the other members who were on the Planning and Zoning Board this evening who you didn't reappoint, that might get you the 7.
You got this guy Carlton Richard, I don't know if I knows him, but he checked all the boxes on his application, so. Does anybody know him? No. Well, we can always bring that person back and go.
Mr. Richard applies for pretty much everything. So
okay.
probably between your 5 existing and Mr. O'Kelly and Mr. Richard, you'd have your 7-member board.
Or we can just wait and come back with and fill this 7th spot if you want. I mean, I don't think we have to do all 7 right now tonight, do we?
You don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm a little weary to appoint someone that they've. I don't mind they applied for all this stuff, but they've applied and I've seen the name, but we've never been to one of the meetings for any of the thing we've applied for.
Yeah,
So-
I think I like people to come to the meeting at least so I can see the face and show them they're really interested and just post it.
Yeah.
I believe Mr. O'Kelly, too, is the chairman now.
Chairman of Historic Preservation?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe on the other side of the wall.
So is everybody okay with adding Mr. Kelly's name to the Historic Preservation?
Yes.
Okay, so that'd be 6. So we just need a motion for it, would that be good?
Yes.
Okay. Someone like to make that
So
motion?
move to appoint the 5 plus Mr. Kelly.
Introduce the resolution.
Second.
Do we need to hope which term?
Oh, they got terms, everybody, so. So the first term is 1 person for September 30th, 2019, have 2 for September 30th, 2020, and 2 for September 30th, 2021. Any particular order?
I'd like to appoint Mr. O'Kelly to the one September 30th, 2019,
Okay.
because that way, if a planning and zoning comes up and he still would rather do that, we can kind of
Okay.
give that option.
2 for the 2020, anybody you got?
Oh, I just work your way down the list.
All right.
Okay,
I don't
so-
care.
So we're gonna go in the order, if I'm
Yes.
okay,
I
going
want
in
to
the order.
find whichever one's the longest one. I want to put Sandra Henderson on that.
not gonna live that long.
Trying to keep you busy.
Are you serious or you want to go in the order? Which one? Because she's up early. You want to go in order?
Yeah, I'm just.
I don't care.
Okay, so we'll go, Ms. Henderson, we're going to go in order, so you'll be 2020.
Okay.
And that'll be Paige Chassie and Santa Henderson for 2020, Joyce Hughes and J. Scully Morris for 2021, and
Wait. Yeah, we still have
Guy Ross.
Guy, yeah.
But one
Oh,
doesn't
that's
have
it,
because we
that's right.
applied an extra person.
That's
Okay.
right, okay. So this will be Joyce.
Skelly will be our new person.
Okay, he's on the 2021. He's the longest. He and Mr. Guy Ross. Morris. And then Guy Ross.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So we do have a resolution. Someone like to introduce a resolution?
I'll introduce SB, not red.
Oh, okay, cool.
Move for approval.
We have a second?
Second.
All right.
You're welcome, Andy.
Thank you, sir.
Any discussion from the public, from the commission? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Dennison,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Hurley.
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. So we'd like to read the names, Ms. Henderson? We'd like to hear the names read?
Oh, I think I know it all.
You got it, all right. Okay, 5B. Staff request commission appoint and reaffirm the individual appointments to the Airport and Recreation Authority Advisory Board.
Make it easy on everybody. If we listed your current appointments, and if everybody's good with that, the only additional appointment we would need is from Commissioner Peterson for the Rec Board. Commissioner Peterson gave us some info, I think at the last meeting, that he was going to continue with, I don't have the my cheat sheet in front of me,
For the airport?
Bo
Yeah, Bo.
for Airport Board.
Yes, sir.
And Vonda resigned?
And Vonda gave notice to Travis Rima that she was going to resign.
Okay. So then Commissioner Peterson would just need to find a recreation person, and I still need an airport person because I don't have much success. It's the third one.
And I have a park and rec nomination.
You got, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Joni Smalley.
John, you should have been my airport person.
So if we will, will you read those out, Andy? And
For both of them?
just to confirm, run down each commissioner's appointment to the Rec and Airport Board, just for confirmation.
Commissioner Dennison has Jim Burry. Commissioner Hurley has Roger Croft.
Right.
Commissioner Peterson will be Joni Smalley.
Yes,
Commissioner Roebuck is Ashley Hunt.
correct.
And Mayor Christian is Wendell Perry.
Right.
Okay, and that's the Recreation Board for the audience.
Airport Advisory Board, Commissioner Dennison is Alan Reisman. Commissioner Hurley is Mark Crawford. Commissioner Peterson is Bo Roten. Commissioner Roebuck is Byron Oldham. And then Mayor Christian.
My guy quit. Does anybody know anyone who would like to serve on the Airport Advisory Board? Please raise your hand. If you didn't get an appointment tonight, if your wives want to serve on the airport. So if you guys know anybody that's just biting the pump, please send their name to me, and I'll call Pam and see if she has a recommendation. I'll bring it next meeting.
Miss Bowersauce.
Oh. It's very easy tonight, I promise.
She's further than me, so she's not gonna do it.
Oh,
So do we need any
I think-
motion, anything, just reaffirming?
No, those are reaffirms, and so we just have the one opening. So,
Okay.
Mayor, when you find somebody, let us know.
Yes,
We'll
okay.
Put it on the agenda.
My last guy died, so I don't know if I want to serve on me.
Well, I'd want to be here.
I know, I bet. Okay, 5C is an ordinance amending the City of Leesburg Municipal Police Officer Pension Trust Fund. This is a resolution?
Ordinance.
Ordinance. Okay, you read it, please.
An ordinance of the City of Leesburg, Florida, amending Chapter 17, Pensions and Retirement, Article 4, Police Officers Retirement Fund of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Leesburg, amending Section 18, Miscellaneous Provisions, amending Section 24, Transfer between City of Leesburg Retirement Plans, amending Section 26, Prior Police Service, amending Section 28, Deferred Retirement Option Plan, amending Section 29, Prior Military Service, amending Section 30, Reemployment After Retirement, providing for codification, providing for severability of provisions, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date.
Move for approval.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Dan, you second that? Put Dan's name second now. Any discussion from the commission? From the public? Roll call.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck?
No.
Commissioner Hurley?
Yes, twice.
Commissioner Dennison?
Yes.
Mayor Christian?
Yes. Item D is a resolution. Someone like to introduce it?
I'll introduce, ask that it not be read.
Move
That
approval.
motion. Thank you. Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion from the commission?
Just like the last one, while I really like how we're cleaning up stuff on that area of 441, I actually voted against the last one too because I'm just worried about the increasing annual maintenance cost. Each stretch looks like it cost us about $90,000 a year extra. Is that about right, Al? $90,000 in terms of what we're not reimbursed?
Yeah, in that ballpark.
And I would rather see it be spent on other areas of the city.
Any other good discussion? From the public? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Roebuck?
No.
Commissioner Hurley?
Yes.
Commissioner Dennison?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Mayor Christian?
Yes. Okay. Do we have any information reports that one want to talk about, discuss? If not, city attorney items,
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
city manager items?
Just want to bring your attention to the email I sent the commission on Friday with the Public Works updates, all the projects kind of listed there. So that's kind of all the big stuff. Most everything else in other departments is, I don't want to say standard operating procedures because there's always new stuff going on, but those are the big things that the commission will be focusing on in that Public Works report. And as well, there was the commercial activity update, just to kind of keep you updated what's going on in planning and zoning and building departments.
Okay. Public comments. This section is reserved for members of the public to bring up matters of concern or opportunities for praise. Issues brought up will not be discussed in detail at this meeting. Issues can either be referred to the proper staff or be scheduled for consideration at a future city commission meeting. Comments are limited to 3 minutes, please. Any public comment tonight? Yes, sir, Ms. Cole.
My wife and I really like the improvements, Venetian Gardens. As you know, we live in that neighborhood and they are well used now. So it's been money well spent. The only thing we want is to continue Christmas decorations.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comment? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Dennison?
Yes, last Thursday and Friday, I went to DEP hearings in Orlando regarding the situation we have in Arlington Ridge. It lasted for 2 full days. There was a judge there. GI Shavings had 3 lawyers, the DEP had 2, and the Homeowners Association had 2 lawyers. Testimony went all day long, both days, and I was able to testify in favor of Covanta because the lawyers from GI Shavings were trying to blame Covanta for the pollution and the noise control. It will be approximately 2 weeks before the judge gets back with a declaration. This was, GI Shavings was applying for another permit, which they believe this one they may be able to meet. Now, it doesn't address the pollution, it does not address the noise pollution. They have asked to be able to operate whenever they want to, which means that 24 hours a day, Arlington Ridge could be under noise and pollution. So I'm hoping that this is going to end positively with the fact that there is a judge involved. And if not, I would anticipate that there will be a nuisance filed against this company and probably Lake County. So I just wanted to give you all an update with what's going on. So it is now starting to get more and more hearing from the DEP. Thank you, that's it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hurley?
Sorry I missed the meeting last week. I was out of town. We opened up a new dealership. And as it goes, when you're not here, you get stuck with a lot of stuff. So to our 5-time mayor, I'll say to you guys, anybody want to serve on the Center for the Arts? You guys owe me. Let's rephrase that. Anybody want to serve on the Center for the Arts?
Well, I set a pretty low bar last year. I was the rep and I didn't go at all. So if you went once, you'd be doing real well. It's only four times.
If you don't want to do it, Commissioner, I'll serve.
Well,
Poor Maria.
Yeah, really?
they need somebody who'll show up and bring.
4 times a year, I think I can beat Dan's record.
So, put
me down. I'll take it.
Put him on that for me, will you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Other than that, I think you guys are doing okay. For the rest of you, though, thank you so much for your willingness to serve our community. And the pay is great. The benefits are huge. The thank yous are few, but it really does make a difference. And it's that's the spirit of Leesburg. I think what makes Leesburg great. If you look at all of our nonprofits and all of our organizations that have so many volunteers, that's what makes our town different. And so I do appreciate your coming and spending your time, efforts, and frustrations to try to make this city a better place. Thank you. That's it for me.
Commissioner Roebuck?
Yeah, on the planning and zoning, so there is, I think, actually a $25 pay, and I don't know what the answer to this is, but twice we've had the issue where someone from that has run for the commission, and if someone had challenged it, we probably would have been an issue. It came up with the school board this year. Remember, they threw a candidate out because they didn't resign prior. Fred knows there's so many days you have to do beforehand, and neither of them did that. No one says anything, but the candidates didn't win. And if they had won, well, then we might have been in a lawsuit over it. So I think we just need to change it. So since that seems to be a common thing, it just isn't an issue anymore. And I don't know how we do that.
Well, I don't know that the city has anything it could change. That's a matter of state law and the fact that...
The $25?
Oh.
If we don't pay, then it's not an issue, is it?
Yeah, it would be because they still have the same authority to make decisions.
I thought they had to be paid.
No.
I thought that was part of the statute.
No, if they have authority to make a decision on their own, as that board does for variances and things like that, then they're considered a board, and then they're an office.
Maybe we can put something in our paperwork from the city, just about specifically about that planning and zoning, or any boards for the city would qualify for that.
It's a matter of educating candidates at the time that they sign up for another office that they're required to resign from the office they hold, if any.
And I think a lot of people, well, I'm on planning and zoning, that's a board, it's not an office. I'm not elected to anything, so it doesn't apply.
Yeah, but I mean, that's where the educational process is called.
Okay.
And it even applies to police officers and sheriff's deputies, which is not well known either.
We could do it when we do the proclamation.
So maybe we could get like just a one-page sheet that we would include in our city election packet for people, so it doesn't ever become an issue.
What is the pay for planning and zoning?
$25 a month.
$25.
Don't receive anything with
I was going to double it to $49.
I'll refuse that.
Okay.
Andy and I just had a quick sidebar. That's a tough notice because in the packets, some candidates don't pick up their packets within the resign window. So you have 30 days to resign, and then some candidates don't pick up their election packets, which would get that notice until after they would need to resign. So what we'll do is when we do we do a proclamation to announce when elected office is up. At that time, when we put that proclamation in your agenda package, we'll put a notice in that to get it going.
Okay, sounds good. That's it for me.
Commissioner Peterson?
No comments tonight.
Mayor Christian?
We just have one announcement. Supervisor-elect Alan Hayes has an open house and tour that we're invited to That's January the 17th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., 1898 East Burley Boulevard, Tavares, Florida. We will have tours hosted by each department of our operation. Come out, see the facility, and let us show you around. Light refreshments will be served. So if anybody wants to go, I'm sure he'll be happy to see all the honorable city commissioners of Leesburg. That's all I have. Once again, as Commissioner said, thank you all for willing to serve your city. It's not a lot of thank yous, not a lot of pay, but thank you for your willingness to make Leesburg better. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?